What's up, YouTube? This is John back with another episode of Engineering Awesome. Today I want to show you guys how I've used 3D printing to help improve this awesome Dillon XL650. Let's take a look. So I actually got this weekend off and it's supposed to be pretty nice out. So I figure that I'm going to load up some 9mm, go out and probably shoot a couple more videos. I'm thinking I might do the sight compare this weekend, and then I think I might show you guys some extreme 9mm 115 grain bullets that I load up in these. I get great accuracy out of them. So I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys while I'm at it, and converting the press back over to 9mm, I'd show you guys a few of the reloading accessories that I make. So I've got this right here, which is a primer tube holder. I've got a tool holder for the Allen wrenches that come with the Dillon. I've got this bin expander here, which I've already shown you guys, but I have an accurate count on the increase in capacity that it gives you. And then I've got these little stands that I make. So since I've got this in my hand, we'll go ahead and start here. This is just a pretty simple little stand that I made up, and as you guys can tell, I make it with whatever color I've got in the printer at the time. This is like a peach, but I couldn't find one that I really liked on Thingiverse. There's a few of them that they work really well. I think I've got, yeah, here's one up here. This one works really well. No matter what I did, I always got a weird slicer error where it filled in those quadrants, but one thing I wanted to improve on this design was the width here so that it supported the tool head more, and then I changed everything on it. So this is actually taller, it's got a wider base, it fits the hole tighter, and it extends out a lot further to give the base more stability, and I put some holes in here to put drywall screws in there. I use a wooden shelf, as you guys can see, to store my tool heads on. So really this is nothing like what that is in the end, but it works really well. I'm not going to post it as a remix just because I didn't even use that. But works really well, holds my tool heads great, and I really like that I can attach it should I want to. The reason why I made it so that I could attach it is so that I could put the powder drop on it and not feel like it might tip over or something like that. But right now I've only got one powder drop, so I swap it between whatever head's on there. Now the next thing, since it's convenient, I don't have to do a separate shot, is the bin. So I already went over the bin expander that I did, but I got some actual numbers. So I've weighed it all out and everything, and this will hold without the bin expander in there, and you'll have to excuse it, it's a little dirty. This will hold about 270 pieces of 9mm brass, which is significantly less than I said in that video. With the bin expander on there, the capacity goes up to about 420. Now I say about because the weight of the casings varies somewhat significantly, but with this on here, I calculated about 420, which is about a 50% increase in capacity. So that thing does awesome. Now, the next thing we're going to take a look at is this primer tube. Now, I have to put the camera up on the desk here to get a decent shot of it. So bear with me a little bit. The lighting's not going to be great. But let's take a look at it. This is my primer tube holder. So this piece is actually on every Dillon XL650. Even if you don't have the case feeder, it always comes with this bar and it always comes with this tube. So I made this so that I was able to put my primer tubes on there. So this is just one of the primer tubes that you load up and then you drop them down into the Dillon, and I fill this up when I'm loading 5.56. Drop it in the tube and then fill it up again, and then I've got a reservoir up here so that I can do at least 200 rounds in one session as long as I don't have any failures. So I really like this, and it's very easy to print and works on every Dillon XL650. Now I don't know if the 550 has anything like this, so you might be able to use it there, but it works great on the 650. Alright, so now that we've taken a look at that, I want to show you guys the tool holder that I made. Now, what this does for me is it allows me to keep everything that I need to work on this very close, at least Allen wrench wise. I do have a set of wrenches that I keep over here, just a cheap set of Harbor Freight. I keep the good wrenches out in the garage where I need them most, but that one is really challenging to film, so the lighting is really horrible on it, and you don't really get to see a good shot of it. But let's take a look at it, and you guys can take a better look at it on Thingiverse. Alright, so the next accessory that I printed for this is by nature very challenging to film, which I'm just now discovering. So I actually printed a tool holder for the tools that do come with the Dillon. The one that you can buy from them is like 40 bucks, and I really couldn't justify that cost, so I just 3D printed one. The tools come right out. They're stored right on the back of the press. They take up very little room. This print is okay. It doesn't fit the greatest, but it fits pretty decent, so I'm probably just going to post it as is, and then I'll post the CAD files, which I've been doing so that people can modify some of the stuff I've made. So definitely let me know what you guys think of this. I'm sure people are going to have some great ideas for improvements. I really need to put some wrenches on it, but for now, that's all it is. Those are the accessories that I've 3D printed to help make reloading on this Dillon XL650 a little bit more organized. It doesn't really improve much on what I've got here, but one thing that I did print to actually improve the press is this ski slope for the Primer Chute. Now, the reason why I'm doing this one last is because I actually did not design it. I just found it on there and printed it off. The only modification is, and I'm going to take a second to grab this, the only modification is that it turns here. And when it turns, they actually brought the wall up. I had a big problem with these primers. They would come out the bottom and just shoot off, and they were all over the floor. As is, they still get all over the floor with this. You can process the brass so quickly through it. So that's really all the stuff that I've 3D printed for this thing. Now, this press really kind of goes against a lot of what I kind of preach on this channel almost. So I'm really about saving money. About everything that I do is budget. So I 3D print stuff so I don't have to buy it. Everything I build on the guns that I've been showing is budget. But this thing, as you guys can see, I went all out on. So if you buy the cheaper stuff, you're not going to be able to process the brasses quickly. You can't load nearly as much, and this has got an awesome warranty on it as well. So that's the big reason why I went with this, because I'm quite busy with work. I work a lot of weekends, including the normal 5-day week. So this allows me to process roughly, whenever I do it, about 200 every little stint, and I'll do about 30 minutes of reloading or so, and that's going pretty slow, to be honest, and setting everything up. So in 30 minutes I can pump out about 200 rounds on this, and it allows me to keep a pretty decent amount on hand for whenever I want to go shoot, or my wife wants to go shoot, or anything like that. So that's why I went with this Dillon press, and so far the thing has been phenomenal. One thing about it that has really been a bit of a letdown is that with my modified Glocks, it had a light primer strike issue, and the priming system on this really wasn't adequate enough for that. So now I hand prime my 9mm, and that's mostly because I've got reduced weight springs and all that. My Ruger All-American, which is another striker fired pistol, shot just fine with everything that this thing primed. But regardless, I now hand prime just for reliability's sake. So make sure that you guys let me know what you think of this video. Let me know of what you guys think of the production quality on it as well. I got that new Rode mic, so I am testing that out for sure. And I think that I'm probably going to open maybe an Etsy store, or just keep posting some stuff up on eBay. For instance, the Glock block and maybe a few other prints like that. There's been some real interest in a diabetic supply holder that I designed to help my wife store some of her supplies at the bedside and help us keep organized with some of the used test strips, which end up all over the place. I find them in my boots even. So I'll post probably a really quick video on that. A lot of the people in her diabetic forum have been asking for the ability to purchase that. So anything that I can make on the eBay store will allow me to sell those for cheaper to people that really need them. So that's my goal, to kind of help out that community as well. So make sure that you guys like and subscribe, and I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.